high side. Murphy shooting, save a rebound on the view.
Hey everyone, this is Casey. You are watching the Red Rubber Duck Win All Sports Network. The Steelers win 27-14 over the Cleveland Browns at Acrisure Stadium. And with that result, the Steelers also eliminate the Browns from playoff contention, making this revenge win a little bit sweeter. Now, I said the Steelers defense needed to answer the Browns defense, and they did. They were able to bring pressure to Winston, and they managed to get 2 interceptions off of him. Those being a thick pick from Keanu Benton and by James Pierre. There was also special teams who recovered a muffed punt by Kadarius Toney, doing 5 points of favor. And the defense even sacked Jameis Winston 3 times, with 2 of them coming from Cameron Hayward and another from Alex Highsmith. The secondary did a great job of containing the big names in Jerry Jeudy and David Njoku. Jeudy went from over 200 yards last week against Denver to only 64, and Njoku got held to only 42 yards. Now, they both had a touchdown each, but that was the only thing that the Browns could muster against the Steelers' defense that day. So, a fantastic job by the defense, and what a way to bounce back from the snow of 2 weeks ago. Now, this offense had 552 yards last week against Denver, and we cut it to nearly in half to 300 yards exactly. The run defense did an outstanding job containing the likes of Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford to 48 and 28 yards respectively. And I mentioned Kadarius Toney with the muff punt, and that was a great job of our special teams getting to the ball. And I'm thoroughly convinced that Chris Boswell has collected the Infinity Stones of every kicker in the AFC North, because Dustin Hopkins came up and sent kicks to the left and to the right, doing the Cupid Shuffle in reverse. Now, both of those kicks were at the closed end of Acrisure Stadium. I think it's starting to be the cursed end of the stadium now, instead of the open end. Now, the Steelers' offense was coming off of an explosive 44-point, 520-yard performance against Cincy. Now, I wasn't expecting us to run away with it, since Cleveland's defense was eons better than the Bengals' defense. But the main thing we did was take advantage of the opportunities bestowed upon us. The thick pick from Benton turned into a touchdown. And after the interception from Pierre, we could only go 3 and out, but then the stone hands of Kadarius Toney returned, and they were able to melt the clock for the win. The running game was a little better than last week, as we went from 110 to 120 yards, but of course there is a lot that could be improved upon. A whole lot. And of course, the running game was where we had our only mishap of the game, and that was a Cordero Patterson fumble. Hopefully, Patterson learns to take care of the ball more. But thankfully, it resulted in some fresh apple turnovers from famous Jameis, so we can't complain there. In the air, we didn't have George Pickens. Not because of suspension, but because he did suffer a hamstring injury late in the week. And we noticed, and you noticed it at the start, because at the start, the offense was barely noticeable. We couldn't catch, we couldn't throw, and we can't play in the first quarter this season for some reason. The second, third, and fourth quarters we have down to a science, but we need to play for a full 60 minutes because the next 4 games are going to be hell. If we keep going 3 and out on every possession, we're going to be stuck with 10 wins. Mark my word. The third down play was very bad, as we went 6 for 14 on third down, and we need to find the end zone when we hit the red zone. And we cannot just rely on Boswell to kick us to glory every single time. We need to find the end zone early and often, because again, these next 4 games are going to be hell weeks. However, a huge shout out to the O-line, as they only gave up 1 sack this time, and that was near the end of the game. Overall, great game, boys. We get revenge for that snow globe game, we send the Browns packing, and we get a 2-game lead over the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC North. That doesn't get any better. Now, the Steelers are sitting nice and pretty at 10-3. Next up, they have the Philadelphia Eagles at the Link. Now, there are playoff scenarios for both squads. The Steelers will be playing for a playoff berth, and it cannot be more simple. Win, and you're in. If not, we can still punch a ticket if Indy and Miami both lose, but I would rather get it over with and win. Now, the Eagles can win the NFC East if they win and the Commanders lose. And I say let's keep them waiting. If the Steelers win, it sets up a prime opportunity for the Steelers to clinch the AFC North against the Ravens on Saturday the 21st. But first, let's focus on clearing the first hurdle. Don't look past your opponent, and we'll be going dancing in no time. But that's going to do it for me. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to the Red Rubber Duckman All Sports Network. And the links to the Simon Cancer Center are still going to be in the description, so feel free to check those out. But until we meet again, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, and as always, let's go Steelers.